Looking to achieve a healthier lifestyle but have little time? The Terrebonne General Executive Health Program can improve your overall health for a lifetime in one visit. With little to no waiting, you get a whole year of wellness in one convenient location. Our preventative screenings increase your well-being by providing early detection against illness. With exceptional VIP service, you leave with a plan in hand to achieve a healthier lifestyle tailored for you. Call the Terrebonne General Executive Health Team at 985-850-6204 today.
Bayou Time Sports is brought to you by Terrebonne General Health Systems Community Sports Institute in conjunction with Barker Honda.
It's my pleasure to be joined by Julie Dardar, head softball coach at E.D. White Catholic. Good to have you here. Congratulations. Belated on a great season last year. Y'all had a terrific season last year where you make it to the quarterfinals and everything went well. And the one thing I couldn't help but notice, you were young. And then I get your preview sheet in and I look and it's like, yeah, we were young, but I'm actually counting on a couple of girls that were in the 8th grade last year to maybe step up for us too. Talk about that a little bit. Is something happening where there's a cycle coming through?
We have a lot of girls that play travel. And those girls are coming in now. We're seeing that wave hit us. So we're going to be young for a few years.
District champions last year. New district this year, where there are a couple of teams in this district, obviously with Vanderbilt and some of those teams who are established in softball, so to speak, a little bit. But I think it probably ups your game just a little bit too, right?
It does.
Yeah,
it makes them want to compete.
So how has January and February been leading up to the season?
It's been good. We've done some work prior to that, and the girls work on their own all the time too. So I think we've got a lot accomplished before the season, and we're ready to play.
So strengths, those things that you think y'all will be good at this year.
Without being overconfident, I think all around we really are. Pitching is strong. She's coming back. Two of our pitchers actually.
Yeah, you actually have a few pitchers.
And I have one young that's coming in to help us. And defensively, offensively, we're pretty solid.
Very good. Things that may worry you a little bit that we just have to get a little bit better at that. Maybe not necessarily that you can't just go beat some people, but to get to that elite level, what might have to get better?
Just to continue practice and working on things that we see that we have issues with during games, coming back and working on that next day of practice.
You know, I asked a lot of coaches about their schedule. Was it a little different now that you're going into a district and district games are sort of set up? Of course, everybody does it different. Some play one round, some play two. Has it been harder for you to make a schedule this year?
No.
Because I know that some of those teams that you're going to be playing in district were opponents otherwise, right?
Correct. We, just a couple of tournaments, you just have to say, I don't want to play them till it's time to play them in district. But no, my schedule was done pretty early.
And one thing I have to compliment you guys on, probably 4 years ago, if I passed there, I'm not sure what the name of the street is, your field was nice, but it's not nice like it is now.
Oh,
how does that happen? Is that parents who usually got?
We have a lot of parent support. They're into the program just as much as we are. They love it. They want better for their girls. So
it competes with some college facilities.
It really is.
So is that a little pressure at all?
Oh, it just makes it easier for us.
Very good. Very good. We wish you the best of luck this season.
Thank you.
I am fortunate to have Matt Plitt here with me, the head baseball coach over at E.D. White. E.D. White, who has such a successful program, 2 years removed from the state championship. Last year made it to the quarterfinals. I have to tell you this, Matt. I'm going to tell the same thing to Julie when she comes up. We do a radio show in the morning, right? And we sitting there, and the guys didn't even realize this, but this is almost mind-blowing. E.D. White in every sport so far this year, 2024, 2025, has made it at least to the quarterfinals. Think about that. Football was in the state championship. Volleyball goes without saying what they do every year. Your swim teams were 1 and 2. I mean, one won a state championship, one was second. Cross country, a state championship. No pressure. Wet till out, no pressure.
Thank you. Thank you.
I just thought I had to say that along the way.
No pressure.
But listen, you guys do so well each year, and I think that's ingrained. I'd like to say this, too, as a little bit of a compliment. I can remember when you were at Westgate, And it's a situation where I have the utmost respect because you knew ultimately the record wasn't I've been talking to all these coaches about the goal. And I think, and as I'm looking out and I see Jamie, fooling with kids from Elder and stuff, you brought some things to that program, but then you go to E.D. White where the resources are different. I'm being quite honest with it a little bit. And that being said, I think you love those kids as much at Westgate as, any kids along the way. How has that been for you? Was that a learning process that maybe makes you a better coach now in 2025?
For sure. Say at Westgate, bring back a little bit of memories there. But at Westgate, I was the only coach. I coached JV, varsity, freshman. I was at every practice. I went every single road trip all by myself. So it had some good things that come with it, some bad things that really gave me a little bit of some trust issues when I started actually having assistant coaches. But it taught you a lot, definitely, what to do and to not really worry about and focus on those wins and losses. And if you really take the focus away from that and focus on the little things, that every day those kids improve and they get better. So
let's jump to E.D. White. You are at the 4A level, but you do have the same conflicts that a lot of coaches might have at a single A. And what I mean by that is I would venture to say, and you probably know the percentage better than me. Obviously, you should know it better than me. 90% of your kids play football, right? You probably have some that are playing basketball, right? So that being said, when you go into January and February, do you sort of know what the blueprint's going to be, or it's still a process going into the start of the season?
I mean, a little bit of both. You kind of know the blueprint, kind of don't know what to expect at that point. But we have 55 kids this year in the whole program from 8th through 12th, and 45 of them play football. And then you move into the basketballs and the soccers and everything else. But we only have 3 in basketball currently. 8th grade basketball finished. We got them back. Soccer, we have 1. One's hurt, but so those 2 sports not as much, but a lot of football carryover. You kind of, to me, it all depends on how the football programs run, and I think Coach Kyle does an excellent job. And I think from top to bottom football. So when we get those guys from the other sports, there's not a huge drop off just because those other sports are ran so well.
Talk about the things that you really like that you have seen in January and February.
What I've really liked so far is we graduated 3 seniors last year. We only have 5 this year, but it's not just the seniors trying to lead. I think from all the way down, last year we had an 8th grader play varsity, and usually you get those young kids that get that varsity time, and sometimes the next year they're kind of relaxed and they kind of get a little bit lazy on you. But that hasn't happened with our younger guys. So I think that the biggest thing that I've been excited about so far is those younger guys leading too.
Position groupings that you feel really good about. You can mention names if you wish to, but those things, whether it's on the mound, whether it's infield, whether it's at the plate.
I think baseball specific, I think our biggest strength this year is pitching. I know a lot of people probably doubt that comment because we lose, Tyler Weimer from last year, who's at Arkansas State now. But we return every pitcher that we had from last year besides him.
I agree. I saw some young kids pitching and I went, wow.
Both scrimmages we've played so far, we've started off the first 3 to 4 or 5 innings have been freshman, sophomore. So,
wow. Something you maybe think has to get better. It's not there yet.
I would say maybe has to get better is just to focus on little aspects that don't deal with baseball. And that could be anything, how we leave a dugout, how we carry ourselves after a loss, even after a win, the bus ride home, things like that. At times it's shown it's been really good, but I think for us to be really consistent, that has to be better.
I have not had the opportunity to look at your schedule. Is it set up in a certain way that you wouldn't have done 3 years ago?
I think I'm going to have to quote Coach Kyle on this one. He talked about the football schedule and it had a difficult schedule, and he said that's the schedule that they earned. And I want to say I think my list got up to about 45 coaches I contacted to play a game, and I had 2 return. So I think it's a schedule that we earned. There's going to be no week that we have a time to relax or take off. So it's going to be a pretty tough schedule.
Very good. Very good. Have you figured out this PowerPoint ranking thing, or does that not even play into your schedule making?
I do, but I don't really use the ranking system for my schedule. So
very good. Very good. We wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
When you have a history of greatness, the real challenge starts after the finish line. When victory alone isn't enough, you chase something greater, no matter how difficult the path. On the dirt, in the sand, and beyond. The new 2024 Ridgeline, Passport, and Pilot, part of our most rugged trail sport lineup yet. From Honda